Good morning, friends, and welcome to Worship with Norway United Church. My name is Paul Ivany, the lead minister here, and Jen Auger is our youth and young families minister. Happy to welcome you on this third Sunday of Advent. It's a snowy day here in southern Ontario. I hope it's a nice day where you are. Today, on this third Sunday of Advent, we light the candle of joy. But in a few moments, we'll be lighting our celebration candle. So I encourage you to type in any celebrations that you have, birthdays or anniversaries or other celebrations. It is a full service today, so we're going to move right away to our land acknowledgement as we begin our service.
We pause to acknowledge the traditional territory on which Norval United Church stands today.
Countless nations, including the Anishinaabe, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, Métis, and many others, walked this land for thousands of years.
We acknowledge their stewardship of this land throughout the ages. We commit to respectful relationships with our Indigenous neighbors, and we accept our responsibility to walk without harming anything.
The land on which we gather is part of the treaty land and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation.
Just a few announcements to begin our worship this morning. You can always go to our website, norvalunited.ca, and find the link to Norval Online, and you get all the announcements. As always, we thank folks for the offerings that they give to support the work and life of the church. But there's a special giving opportunity that we have now. Here at Norval United Church, we've signed a contract with Guelph Solar, really dynamic young company involved in the solar panels industry, and they're going to install solar panels here at the church. It's estimated that once they're installed, we'll be able to save about $10,000 a year in hydro costs, which is significant. The panels, though, cost more than $100,000 for purchase and installation, and if you're able to help with a special donation for this project, we would appreciate that support. Donations received by December 31st will be included in a 2022 charitable donation receipt. Phil's just going to put up on the slide of the various ways of giving to the church. You know them. E-transfer payment at norvalunited.ca with the security code GIFT NUC. You can check out our Canada Helps page and find us there. You can mail a check to Norval United Church with the address there, and Phil will put those ways of giving in the comments section as well. Some special services that are coming up this year. One is on the longest night of the year. That's Wednesday, December the 21st. We will be sharing communion in our midweek breath. That's Wednesday the 21st at 8 p.m. You can find the link on Norval Online on the website. It'll be in the Daily Minute, or you can email Jenny in the office to get the link to that service. Longest night, Wednesday, December 21st, 8 o'clock for communion there. And then on Christmas Eve, here in the church, we have a number of services. We have a kids' pajama party at 4:30, I believe, 4 or 4:30. Then we have our 7:30 candlelight communion service, which will be live streamed. So we invite you to join us with us on Christmas Eve for that live stream service. And then we're having another 9 o'clock in-person candlelight service. We'll be posting the YouTube link in due course through Norval Online and on the website for the Christmas Eve service. The Facebook link is always the same. You just come to our Facebook page and you'll be able to find the service there. And then on Christmas Day, we'll be offering our services at the same time, so you can come back at 9 o'clock on Christmas Day. If you're looking for a service, join us on Facebook Live or YouTube, and we'll be happy to join you in worship on those special occasions. And as always, our live stream services are saved on Facebook and YouTube, so you can view them at any time. One of the special parts of Christmas here at Norval United, we mentioned it last week, is our loving memory tree. This is a tree we have in our sanctuary where throughout the holiday season we invite folks to come forward, take a white ribbon, write the name of a loved one on it, and place it on our loving memory tree. And I think we'll be able to show you our loving memory tree. Those of you who are online can type in a name of a loved one that you'd like to add to our loving memory tree, and we will be happy to put it up on the tree as we remember them all through our Advent and Christmas services. But now let's see what we are celebrating. Phil, have we got any special things we're celebrating this day? From Samir, yes, it was Elias's birthday, December the 10th, which was 2 days ago, Friday the 10th. And so happy birthday to Elias. And then from Peggy, wishing Mike a happy birthday this coming Friday. So happy birthday to you, Mike, this coming Friday. I'm going to go and light our celebration candle now. I think that's it, is it? Yep, I think that's it. Oh, and another one. Thank you, Lena. Granddaughter, 6th birthday. Happy birthday to your granddaughter. And oh, I see someone from Susan, celebrating great niece Addison's birthday last Wednesday, grandson Graham's birthday on the 13th, husband Russell's birthday on the 18th, and also sister Jennifer and brother-in-law Tim's wedding anniversary was yesterday. Susan always has so much to celebrate in her family. That's what you get when you have a big family like the Nixon clan. So we're happy to celebrate with you as well, and all those celebrations. Well, friends, we do light many candles at this time of year, but each Sunday in the year here at Norva United Church, we light our celebration candle as a reminder that we gather in the light of Christ, and all who gather are welcome in this place. And let's just put up Carol's celebration there, celebrating my friend who beat breast cancer. Prayers do work. Thank you, Carol. Good to have you with us, and we join in celebrating with you and your friend. Well, the Molnar family, along with Rochelle's mother, Ann Sterrett, came by the church this week to light today's Advent candle. They will be lighting the candle of joy, and then we'll join in singing our response.
Hi, I'm Ann Sterrett. I grew up on a farm just north of Norval. It's now had 5 generations live there. My husband and I started an accounting practice in Georgetown until we retired to Marsville a few years ago. Norval United Church, past and present, has been an important part of the significant events of my life, not only marriages, baptisms, and funerals, but personal connections and memories like my grandma driving me to the little church in Norval, to present church with my grandchildren here.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Molnar, Ann's daughter. I also grew up in Norval and recently moved to Georgetown with my husband, Levente Molnar, and our 3 kids.
Hi, I'm Emily and I'm in grade 3. Hi, I'm Jack and I'm in grade 1.
Over 100 people from the ages of 2 to 80 years old were asked the question, what brings you joy? Hear their answers.
A clean kitchen.
Sand between my toes.
Sleeping in my own bed after a night away. Being outside.
Having a camera in my hands.
My partner's laugh.
Mountain air. When my parents pick me up.
The end of my to-do list.
Hugs from my grandchildren.
Baby giggles. My cat.
Putting my hands in the garden.
A challenge resolved.
Stargazing. Bedtime books.
A warm cup of coffee with friends.
My nieces and nephews.
Lingering at the dinner table after dinner. Be with time with my family.
Today we light the candle of joy. May its light remind us of the good news this season brings. May its light remind us of the many sources of joy in our lives. And may that joy not only draw us closer to one another, but closer to God.
That smoke in my face.
Family of faith, what brings you joy? Amen.
Jesus came bringing us hope. Jesus came bringing us hope. Jesus came bringing us hope. Hallelujah, forevermore. Jesus came bringing us peace. Jesus came bringing us peace.
So good to have the Molnar family lighting that candle. Those kids are growing up. Just quite something to see. It's great. Well, on this Sunday, when we light the candle of joy, there's only one carol that we could start our service with. So we're going to join in singing Joy to the World. Love the brass accompaniment there. Thank you, Virtual Choir, for that. We are so happy to have Janelle Bascom as part of the Norval United family, and we're even happier to have Lucy, the support dog in training, as part of the family as well. Janelle is joined by Lucy now to offer our prayer.
Good morning. My name is Janelle Bascom, and I am absolutely delighted to have been a member of Norval United Church since this past September. With me is the Lucy dog. She's my therapy dog in training. She's 11 months old, and together we get to come to Norval every Sunday morning, where she makes friends, entertains the children, and entertains me. Now, a series of experiments by Princeton psychologists, Janine Willis and Alexander Todorov, taught the world that it only takes 1/10 of a second for us to form an impression of a stranger. In other words, it only takes 1/10 of a second for us to look at someone's face and determine a stereotype about who they are. With decisions happening that quickly, it is not hard to imagine why we might need a moment of confession. This prayer of confession is an opportunity to slow down. We take that 1/10 of a second and give it room to breathe. We reflect on the decisions that we've made this past week, and we ask for God's mercy to be in all of them. And without fail, God wiggles God's self into the cracks of our lives, and we are made better for it. So with that confidence, let us go to God in prayer. Let us pray. God of mercy, 1,000,000 times a day, we have the opportunity to be gracious, to assume the best in others, to give the benefit of the doubt. 1,000,000 times a day, we could choose the better way, but so often we don't. Fear and greed kick in. Assumptions and insecurities take the wheel. Comparison and critique lead the charge. Forgive us for forgetting that grace and mercy are in our blood. Forgive us for forgetting that all belong to you. Give us the courage to love even bigger than before, and the wisdom to choose a better way. Amen. Family of faith, hear this good news. We who have chosen wrong are given a second chance. We who have lost our way are welcomed into community. We who feel alone are seen, held, and known. This is the good news of the gospel. no matter how many times we choose wrong or lose our way, God continues to be a God of second chances, community, and love. Thanks be to God. Amen.
It is a joy to welcome Janelle and Lucy into the Norval United family, into worship each week. We're going to join the virtual choir in singing another carol about joy. This one is Joy is Now in Every Place, and then Craig and Rita Oldham will come to offer today's Bible reading.
Joy is now in every place, Christmas lightens every face. Now be with us in your grace, oh hear us, bless us, holy Jesus. May the star that shone that night, making your more stable bright, fill our hearts with love and light. Oh, hear us, bless us, holy Jesus. Through the new year let it stay, leading us upon your way, making Christmas every day. Oh, hear us, bless us, holy Jesus. Now and ever may we find your good news to fill our mind, peace and love to humankind. Oh, hear us, bless us, holy Jesus.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to Norval United Church. We are the Oldhams. My name is Craig. We farm just north of Georgetown and Glen Williams with my son Kyle.
And I'm Rita Oldham, and we've been coming to Norval United Church for about 25 years, and before that we were at our sister church in Huttonville. Today's Bible reading comes from Isaiah chapter 35, verses 1 to 10. Isaiah offers a hopeful vision where people can find hope, and even the land can hope as well. Listen to these words from Isaiah.
The wilderness and the dry land shall be glad. The desert shall rejoice and blossom. Like the crocus it shall blossom abundantly, and rejoice with joy and shouting. The glory of Lebanon shall be given to it, the majesty of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord, the majesty of our God.
Strengthen the weak hands and make firm the feeble knees. Say to those who are fearful of heart, be strong, do not fear. Here is your God. He will come and save you.
Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be opened. Then the lame shall leap like a deer, and the tongue of the speechless sing for joy. For waters shall break forth in the wilderness, and streams in the desert. The burning sand shall become a pool, and the thirsty ground springs of water. The haunt of jackals shall become a swamp. The grass shall become reeds and rushes.
A highway shall be there, and it shall be called the Holy Way. The unclean shall not travel on it, but it shall be for God's people. No traveler, not even fools, shall go astray. No lions shall be there, nor shall any ravenous beasts come upon it. They shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there.
And the ransomed of the Lord shall return, and come to Zion with singing. Everlasting joy shall be upon their heads, and they shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away.
Thank you, Craig and Rita. Well, I got a question for you today. What do you want for Christmas? Now, don't type it in because we're not providing all those gifts for what you want for Christmas. But what do you want for Christmas? when I was much younger and there were 4 noisy kids in my house growing up, and we asked my dad, "What do you want for Christmas?" his response was always, "Peace and quiet." Peace and quiet. There was a survey done many years ago. Can you guess what the top answer to that question was? What do you want for Christmas? It was, "I just want to be happy." When I read that, I was taken back to my high school years when I played in all the bands, the pep band, the concert band, the stage band. And one year we put on a high school musical, and it was No, No, Nanette. Do you know No, No, Nanette? It first opened in the 1920s, and it had some famous music in it. Tea for Two was one of the famous songs. And then there was another one that came to mind when I was thinking about the answer to what do you want for Christmas? I don't know if you know this song. I want to be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too. Life's really worth living when we are mirth giving. Why can't I give some to you? When skies are gray and you say you are blue, I'll send the sun smiling through. I want to be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too. And then they'd go off into the soft shoe dance number after that. They were just writing a musical over 100 years ago to entertain people, but there's truth in what they were saying. I want to be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too. There's actually a whole lot of truth in that statement. Selfishness doesn't work. This applies in your family, where you work, all around the world. If we did our best to make others happy, then we ourselves would be happy. I want to be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too. The gospel according to No, No, Nanette. But the thought goes back much further than that. There's something biblical about it, don't you think? Something like, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But if we're saying that I can be happy by making others happy, then we're begging the question, the big question, what is happiness? I know how to make a Finn happy. Is there anybody out there with roots in Finland? I came across this article, What Makes a Finn Happy? And they interviewed more than 1,000 Finns and asked them each 678 questions, if you can imagine, and they had a lot of data. And they gave out a top 10 list about what makes a Finn happy. And here's the list. See what you think. Number 1, home sweet home, a home of your own. Number 2, sunny weather. Poor Finns need sunny weather. Number 3, an honest relationship. Number 4, a trusting relationship. Number 5, the freedom to be oneself. Number 6 was a freshly cleaned home. That's a good one. Number 7 was friendship through gestures and words in a relationship. Number 8 was friendship through actions in a relationship. Number 9 was fidelity in a relationship. And number 10 was security in a relationship. An awful lot of the happiness for Finns has to do with relationships. But I have to confess, I have a twinge of guilt answering the question, what do you want for Christmas? With the answer, I want to be happy. Because sometimes I wonder in this day and age how we in the West, who are very well off, have the nerve, the audacity to say, I want to be happy. Who do we think we are? I was reading some data from UNICEF. UNICEF says there are more than 1 billion children in the world who are multidimensionally poor. That is, they don't have access to education, health, housing, nutrition, sanitation, or water. And UNICEF says there are 356 million children in the world who live in extreme poverty, forced to survive on less than $1.90 a day. I read an article in The Guardian this week that said many African governments are spending more on debt payments than on all the spending on education, healthcare, and social protection combined. And then I read another article this week about how the New York Yankees are paying Aaron Judge $360 million over 9 years to play baseball. I got nothing against Aaron Judge, and I like baseball, but there's something not right in the world where one man is paid $40 million a year to play a game, baseball, while there are 356 million children living on less than $1.90 a day. Would $360 million make you happy? You might say, I don't know, but I'd sure like to try. But really, would $360 million make you happy? Now, you might expect a minister to tell you that money doesn't bring you happiness, that possessions don't bring you happiness, that accumulating stuff doesn't bring you happiness. You'd probably expect me to say that, and I will say that. But as I was preparing my thoughts today, I was interested at how many other people are saying the same thing. Dan Baker is a doctor who has taught at the University of Nevada and the University of Arizona, and he wrote a book entitled, What Happy People Know. And in the book, he looks at happiness, what it is and what it isn't, how we get it, how we lose it, and he writes this. Archaic, fear-inspired urges strongly influence the way we feel about the most insidious of all the happiness traps. This trap has enslaved the hearts and souls of people since the beginning of civilization. It's money. People hunt for diamonds and planes and houses and paintings and boats, but beneath the surface of all their conversation, people are talking about hunting down the one big prize that will finally free them from the two basic survival fears that have haunted people since the Stone Age. The fears of not having enough and of not being enough. The fears of not having enough and of not being enough. And so, says Baker, we think that having more stuff will ease those fears. Have you seen some of the Christmas ads on TV? It's got to the point where I'm watching a Raptors game or a hockey game where I start muting the TV when the commercials come on. I'm tired of them telling me over and over and over again that Christmas joy can be found by buying a new car, that happiness is my next purchase. It's a great marketing concept because it's never ending. There will always be one more purchase, supposedly to make me happy. What makes you happy? I read another interesting article of a study conducted by Bernard Rimland, who was once the director of the Institute of Child Behavior Research in the States. Each person involved in the study was asked to list 10 people that they knew best and to label them as happy or unhappy. And then they were to go through the list again and label each person as selfish or unselfish, using this definition for selfishness: a stable tendency to devote one's time and resources to one's own interest and welfare, and an unwillingness to inconvenience oneself for others. In categorizing the results, Rimland found that all the people labeled as happy were also labeled as unselfish. He wrote that those whose activities are devoted to bringing themselves happiness are far less likely to be happy than those whose efforts are devoted to making others happy. And he concluded, the happiest people are those who help others. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you seems to be a key to happiness. It's what we try to do here at Norval United as a community of faith. We try to live out that idea of doing unto others, of helping others before ourselves. Here we do it through our giving tree, where we bring in food items and toiletries and mittens and toques to give to folks in need. We do it when we sign up here to support families through Links to Care, families that wouldn't have much for Christmas, and we provide something for them. We do it when we bring in purses to support women, stuff them full of items they need people who could use a little bit of love. We do it when we make soup to feed the hungry. We're having another Stone Soup today where we're going to bring people together to make soup to distribute to Food for Life and the Georgetown Bread Basket. We do it here at the church when we sign cards and send poinsettias to seniors and shut-ins. We do it when we put solar panels on the church to help reduce our carbon footprint and care for the environment. We do it when we greet people we know and people we don't know and do our best to put a smile on their face. We do it in countless other ways when we do our best to try and make a difference in the world without a whole lot of fanfare. I'm listing those things that we do here at Norval United, and you, wherever you are, I'm sure do other things as well. And I'm not listing them to pump ourselves up or to blow our own horn, but rather to say we're trying. Trying as we gather as church, trying as we come together in community, trying to do what Isaiah said. The wilderness and the dry land shall be glad. The desert shall rejoice and blossom. Like the crocus it shall blossom abundantly and rejoice with joy and shouting. Then the eyes of the blind will be opened, the ears of the deaf shall be opened. Then the lame shall leap like a deer, the tongue of the speechless sing for joy. For water shall break forth in the wilderness and streams in the desert. We can choose a better way. It's the gospel of No Nanette. I want to be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too. Let us together, and with God's help, make deserts bloom again. Amen. Matt Morrison is going to come now to share today's poetry prayer.
Good morning. My name is Matt Morrison. My partner Jenny and I have been attending Norval since 2015. And since then, we've had 2 additions to our family, Lily, who's currently 6, and Alina, who's almost 2. We live in Brampton with our cat Jasper, who does not attend Norval. I'm proud to serve our congregation on the our affirming ministry team, and as one of our music coordinators. Today's poetry prayer is entitled Instructions for a Hard Choice by Reverend Sarah Speed. First, you must take a deep breath. Let oxygen dance through your lungs. Exhale it slowly. Allow the hurt, the shame, the anger to rise up in you. Let your mind run wild like a million loose horses. Let the narratives unfold, unroll a river of choppy water. Ask yourself how you got here. Look down at your feet. Roll your shoulders back and remember who you are. Take another deep breath. Then walk it back to the beginning. Instead of looking at your feet, look at hers. Imagine where she stands. Imagine what he needs. Dry the river of false stories in your mind. Turn rushing water into a dry creek bed, certainly not clean enough to drink. Call the horses, bring them home. Watch as they shake off the dust of the day. Name what you're feeling. Inhale again. Now you are ready to choose a better way.
Thank you, Matt. Choosing to live joy, choosing to bring happiness to others as best we can. We're going to pause for our prayer time now and give you an opportunity to type in any prayer request you have, prayers of thanksgiving or prayers of concern. Alan will play a little bit. You can type in your prayer request and we'll bring them back to share together. Thank you, Alan. I know we've got a couple of prayers that have come in. Let's see who we're praying for today. From Cindy Phillips, praying for improving health and family relationships. Yes, Cindy, we'll keep you in our prayers. And then from Lena, please pray for my sister and brother-in-law. Give them strength and hope in making the best decision regarding their son's care while in the hospital. Thank you for that, Lena. I have some others of folks here locally in the Norval congregation who have had loved ones or friends pass away this past week. One is Peter Christie, young Peter, who's a member of this congregation. His father, Peter, passed away this week, and the funeral service is tomorrow. I know Amy Holly and Amy Bolton and Beth Holly, and Beth are thinking about the family of their good friend Christy Trask, who was like a sister to them, who passed away this week. We've been praying for Christy for a number of months now. And then we're thinking of Karen Sunarine, whose friend Beth Dean passed away this week, that Karen's been supporting for a number of years. And so we do remember them all in our prayers. But we will think of them in our prayers, but this morning I'm going to invite you to join with me in an affirmation as we think of those that we're praying for. You can join me in this affirmation that we'll say out loud, or you can say it in your heart. Let us join in this affirmation. We believe in a God who offers second chances and does not hold grudges. We believe in a God who opens the door to new life and leaves the porch light on for us when we get lost. We believe in a God who believes in us, believes that we can make a difference, that we can choose grace over compassion, love over hate, peace over war. And so we strive to live our lives in love. We strive to listen as Jesus listened and to be the people that God calls us to be. It's all that easy, and it's all that hard. This we believe. Amen. And Phil, I see there was another prayer. Let's just put that other prayer up from Sharon Rule. Pray Tamara will find strength and courage as she bids goodbye to her mom's home for the final time. We miss Cheryl. And thank you for that, Sharon. We'll remember her in our prayers as well. Well, today our closing hymn isn't a Christmas carol, and really, it's a command to you. It's an order to you. And we're going to join together with a virtual choir in singing, "You Shall Go Out with Joy." Let's sing this now.
You shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth before you. There'll be shouts of joy, and all the trees of the field will clap their hands. And all the trees of the field will clap their hands. The trees of the field will clap their hands. The trees of the field will clap their hands. While you go out with joy. You shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth before you. There'll be shouts of joy, and all the trees of the field will clap their hands. And all the trees of the field will clap their hands. The trees of the field will clap their hands. The trees of the field will clap their hands. While you go out with joy.
Well, friends, thank you for being with us in worship this day. We hope that as we've lit the candle of joy, you might be able to find some joy, but also share some joy as well. Please join us next Sunday as we light the candle of love, the last Sunday before Christmas Day. But now, as we leave this space, may you go knowing that from generation to generation we are claimed and loved. From generation to generation, God has been by our side. From generation to generation, we are not alone. The God of yesterday and the God of tomorrow knows you by name, loves you, and calls you forth, saying, "Go be the person you're called to be. love wildly, do justice, go in peace. Amen.
Wish you the blessing of faith to sustain you, friends to support you, challenge to stir you, songs to empower you, peace to refresh you, tears to release you, laughter to heal you, love to nurture your soul, your soul. We wish you the blessing of faith to sustain you, friends to support you, challenge to stir